now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I am sharing my screen. I hope everyone would be able to see my screen now.
Yes, we
And I also assume that everyone is able to hear me clearly. There are no uh, issues or any screen issues. So we can just get it started.
great. Thanks for the update. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Right. So, guys, as Hamza has started with the short intro of myself, I'll put intro maybe in a minute. Let's get started with the flow, and then we what exactly we have to explore in our today's session. So this is the forward-looking statement. Just very quickly, I will cover this. What does this mean? Actually, it is trying to say that whatever decisions you need to make about any product, any feature, or any product ability, please make it based on the what is available today in the market. And after talking to the sales team of Salesforce, the purpose of this session is for us to do a cumulative learning and understand the concepts. It's not about the product features. It's not about making the sales decisions. So if you need to make any sales decisions, please uh, do not rely on the information which will be provided in the session because the purpose is totally different. So that's why this forward-looking statement is all about as a safe harbor. So thank you everyone. As a tradition from Salesforce, we always thank you to our customers, users, people who are trailblazers, people who wanted to be trailblazers. So thank you, everyone. And as Hamza has, rightly mentioned that today is not just the weekend for a lot of us. It's literally 7:30, going to be 7:40 p.m. for me because I am 7 hours ahead of Pakistan time zone. It's mid of the day for you, and it's Saturday. And then we all know that it's a day before Eid, which is Shanrat. So I really like to thank you from the depth of my heart for your presence, whoever is there. I think the attendees are continuously increasing. That's really amazing. That literally shows the commitment of from all of you to spend that 1.5 hour time online with me and listening to me. So really thank you. Really appreciate your time on that front. So it's a bit of an agenda actually. I'll try to make it but just to set some expectation, some agenda for this session. We will discuss very briefly about Salesforce ecosystem, very briefly, and then the main purpose of for me here on this session and to design this session is to talk about what is Trailhead and how we can get the benefit of if we are novice, if we are mediocre professional, or we are full professional. But how Trailhead actually can help and is already around the world who wanted to be on the Salesforce platform. Then a little bit of couple of few slides actually, and then we will finish the session with from your side. That's a high level agenda. But start, I really like to set the expectation of my purpose of designing session. And when I was originally actually when I was talking Hamza that what exactly I'd really like to do, my main audience are those people have not scratched the surface for the Salesforce so far, but they are very interested. They would like to know if this system, this platform is for them, and if it is for them, then how they can make their mark, on this platform. People who are new, people who have just scratched the surface and wanted to make a mark, wanted to make this platform of their own. This session is for mainly for actually for those people. So whoever has joined and whoever is listening to me, if you think that, oh, we are 1 to 2 years into the platform and we know a lot about the platform and this is very basic stuff, to stay. But I really like my expectation from those learned and experienced professionals would be to help your community trailblazer. Being a trailblazer is a totally different story than just learning the system by your own self, right? We can be great and we can be very 100% experts of the platform itself, but when it comes to the trailblazer, then it's a different story. So let me just give you a very quick example what trailblazer could be. And we are talking about trailblazers, it does not mean that we are necessarily talking about the technology space or computer space or the IT space or programming and architecture and etc. and etc. No, trailblazers are those people who are the ones who inspire others actually, who make their mark, who leave their path in other people come and follow. So from Pakistani perspective, if you look around you, you will find few trailblazers. So for example, was a trailblazer. It's a very fine example of what trailblazing really is. So when you think about the trailblazer, do not just think from the Salesforce perspective. How you if you have 2, 3, 4, 5 years of experience, then how you can make your mark, what path ways you can leave behind you so that others can follow. So that's all about trailblazing, and that's where Abdul Sattar, Edi, and then few other people have the same profile in the social space is really a good example to understand. So I'm just setting the stage so that we all should be on one page and that what session is all about. A little bit about me. I originally, as you all from the gives me a pleasure that this is the giving back and understand whatever I have today to the community of the city or the town where I originally belong to. So I last 8, 9 years. And before that, I was in Middle East and a couple of years in Dubai as well. Quite a while since I left Pakistan. But when I came here, then I started my journey. Um, I have around 7 years of experience. I'm recently hired by Salesforce um, this year in the role of technical account manager. It's a role where we product support and back to the Salesforce teams so that they can understand difficulties faced by the customers in the market. Um, I would say at we provide the bridge between the customers and the Salesforce product teams who are actually designing the product day out basis. First technical account manager, so many technical account managers around the world, and most of my team is in Australia and as well. Actually, there's a team of technical account managers. New Zealand. I'm the first TAM hired by for this country. So definitely there would be many, at least 2 other TAMs will come on next few years, but I'm the and then when I came on, I realized that there are some very programs. One of them was Trailblazer Guide, who I am. So Salesforce internally certified people to be the Trailblazer Guides, trail upcoming trailblazers, so that they can go and help the community. I'm trying to local Auckland and New Zealand community, and as soon as I got a chance, I deliver my knowledge and share my knowledge with other. So like this is a Karachi community that I'm sharing my knowledge. So Trailblazer Guide 20 clear Salesforce selects to be the Trailblazer Guide. So I'm actually one of them. A bit of an introduction about me. So first we'll talk about Salesforce ecosystem. Why we are Salesforce ecosystem? reason behind it, why we are spending this 1 hour of time. Before we talk about what it is, first what is the importance of this ecosystem actually. So these are some numbers, and as you can see on this slide, that there's a research company called IDC Research. It's an independent research company being hired by, commanded different IBM, Accenture, even some banks and some other technology companies to do the research for them. So it's an independent research company. It does not take the favor of from anyone. Independent research, and then the results companies. So Salesforce has also hired this company for 5, good 5, 7 years, and this is doing all the research. What numbers we have? I'll talk about the independent numbers like Americas and Europe and Asia Pacific, but we will just concentrate on the numbers which are looked on the left side. The research global, among all the global jobs, the 4.2 million jobs will new Salesforce jobs, right? 2024, which means we are talking good half years. Already get past half past 2 more years, half of this year, 2.5 years time, there will be new jobs, not existing jobs. I'm not talking about the people who are already working on the Salesforce platform. I'm talking about who will have jobs, brand new jobs. Are the number is 4.2 million Salesforce jobs, which will be economy by 2024 in just years. Based on the numbers from the research of that IDC. Now, when new jobs, people go in and jobs, what happened? They started earning. If they were earning some money before, then they started to change. Earning trend started to change. Economy of that particular country is started to change. So the next thing is economic, because obviously if you are earning 10,000, just giving earning 10,000 rupees per month today, and buy new skill is back to 20,000 rupees a month. It means that your increase by 100%, 20%, right? Which means that has got that job, particular skill, back to the economy by paying, by spending good, because if you have more money, you in a good manner in the market, which means that you are adding back some to the economy of that country, or which translates into the global impact. Sorry, the impact. Economic impact for it will be 1 billion. We are talking about 1.2 trillion US dollar in just half years time. This will be the impact of those new jobs, which will back by 2.5 years time. These two, and then think about yourself, just as you are today, in terms of your skill, in terms of your learning, in terms of your learning trend, where by learning XYZ, if you have, for example, different types of skills, for example, data analytics, um, Salesforce, Java, Python, different skills. Just line up those in front of you and think that the way for me skill, a new learner skill where I which gives us enough we are here on this session today, right? Point I'm really like all of you to think about before we actually move on. So these two numbers are really Right. So also we're information in 9 just to give a comparative analysis. I believe this is done for three, four, five, for span of three to four, with Salesforce actually do this research with research company. Some Salesforce roles and salaries are here as well. Find it on website. One of the role which is really close to my heart. I think it's just my opinion. Please don't take. You cannot start from. You have to start from that particular my, and my understanding and what I have faced in the market in last 5-6 years. So business analyst, that role which is really close to my heart. $1,000 per year is actually average analyst who is associated with the Salesforce, but more as well. But if you want to start slow, if you have a little bit of maybe this Salesforce platform is not for you, you want to try something, I opinion, if you are not something else already, if you're not an administrator already, if you do not in consulting, and BA is the same as a start, because in BA you the business requirements and then requirements and then translate them into something which is deliverable in the Salesforce way. Come back with your requirement, refine your requirement, and when working with solution architects, the delivery team, that is the time when you the platform. See that working with the requirements and with the business side of the story, easily transform your you can not transform, actually you can nurture your Salesforce related skills uh to see those requirements have been translated into a on the platform. So maybe in my analysis is the role which is the safest bet to starting slow if you can do something with the, with the Salesforce as a platform. There are other areas as well. There are consulting, architect, and the pure. If you really love do code and no code, then if you are into Sales framework as well, which is framework which is called Apex. I hope many of you may have heard already. But Apex is more of a Java like platform where you can, if you are into coding, if you really love coding, then you really love coding, you cannot actually live without coding, then Salesforce Developer is the track where you can start. But from the safest perspective and to start, administrative tracks to start with. So this again, this is the reason why we are discussing the system is this one, that ways you can start actually. So that all comprises in the Salesforce. The talent alliance. So understanding the and then how to participate in that in the is Salesforce has a group on LinkedIn which is called Salesforce Talent Alliance. This is Salesforce. This is not an third party group. It's not made by me, or it is by Salesforce itself. So they actually own their social media team own this Salesforce Talent Alliance. You can request to join this one. See your profile, they will activities you are doing, or what is your intention. Obviously, when you request to join, you as part of your request, you can provide your justification why you're interested to join the Talent Alliance. And once you join the Alliance, once your request will be approved, then you will what kind of resources are there group. Take advantage of that ecosystem from this group actually. Not just the people around you, is it's actually social media platforms as well. Especially this one, which is owned by Salesforce, can you can really leverage ecosystem and this type of see how you can go ahead.
Just a quick question, right? Actually, what I'm aware of that this group is not for Pakistan.
This group,
Yeah,
they
I mean all the jobs. I mean, we can join the
yeah
group, but all the opportunities are not available for Pakistanis.
yeah you it will not be Salesforce has now in Pakistan. So there are many other countries, by the way. Well, I was 20 years. There's no legal. Till Dubai has no legal entity of Salesforce. I think they will build one pretty soon. That's my idea. No, as we speak today, there's no entity present in Dubai, Arabia, in Pakistan, and there's so there are at least 10 countries still no legal Salesforce. So maybe that is the one reason why they are not posting. But let me it's about the jobs. Seen this for really busy these days, but what I understand when I have joined this few years ago, not only about the jobs, some of you um, way into the ecosystem and is actually going on. And for the jobs, because they were North American market or the regions which are alike, but at least you can understand be part of the ecosystem, so you can see what's actually going on around Salesforce. So yeah, but point taken. What I understand that they are not jobs for the Pakistan market.
Yeah, we'll take the questions
Yeah,
after. I do have multiple questions about it, so let's just start.
yeah.
Complete the questions at the end. I've also opened the Q&A tab, so all the people who have joined us, you can post your question in the Q&A tab. We can take it later.
I to hear any actually it's really or
Oh,
should we
my
take
bad.
questions in between?
Yeah, that's what I gotta do. I was talking to the community, so I'm just digging back again, so my voice is getting breaking or not. So I have opened up the Q&A tab, so you can post your questions on there, and we'll take the questions at the end of the session.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. Then of ecosystem, main of this whole I'm really excited about is what is Trailhead. Stage we teach anyone here. You guys not know. My understanding is that a lot would know Trailhead is, but especially for those people who really want to make the start their journey on the platform, I wanted to make them understand what is the in terms of Trailhead. And if you are not get this opportunity, you're missing my whole point. That actually. So because people still think that Trailhead is all about Salesforce. That is the it's not only about Salesforce. It is by Salesforce. You can do on this platform. Maybe we still are learning. So let's just see what is there. So sales the Trailhead is a platform for learn, earn, and connect. So learning very much understandable, but that there are pathways defined on Trailhead where you can go and then learn on your own and understand and do the exercises, do the modules. Even you can do the projects as well. There are badges, then there are super badges. A super badge is something which is like a mini project. If you are doing a super batch, which is a mini project, where they literally give you the record. If you are not doing any fake or any cheating or anything, then it's literally gives you the enough confidence to take on a similar project, maybe a other kind of project, and do it on your own. It is such a great thing, which literally read the business requirements in a business synonymical way, and then understand those requirements, and then implement it on the platform. So there are badges and which you earn. So that's where the earning part is. It's not about when we say earn, we do not necessarily talking about earning the money. That part will come later. First of all, you need to platform is, and there's no better way to understand a platform than to implement the requirements yourself, than to do the things yourself, rather than a teacher or an instructor showing a projector, showing a slide on the projector and telling you that you can make the object this, the custom object, and there's a standard object, and these are the and these are the relationships. That is the instructor-led way. What give you the power in your hands, and you start doing things on your own. That's what Trailhead is all about, right? Gives you enough opportunity to so that you can learn by your own ways, define your own standard pathways, define your own ways as well, and then earn the credentials. So, earn the credentials. So there are different types of credentials. As I said, you can earn the points. Based on the points, you can earn the badges, and then based on the badges, you can earn the ranks actually. So there are different ranks on the Trailhead. You can start by just the expeditioner, then you can go to the next step, and then you can go to the which is called ranger. So that excitement gives you enough time and enough further excitement, so that you can earn you can start learning your own pathways, and track what exactly. And then finally, the connect. So that is the community part. I don't know how. I can understand that this is the Karachi Trailblazer community, but the, what I assume and what I suppose is that this community should also interact and participate, in the other with the other communities. So if you are working on a project, if it's your own project, or if you are working in one of the Salesforce partner, and you run into a problem, then you can post your query or question there. Similarly, if you are seeing someone else's question there, which is a problem that you have already worked on, and you know problem, then you can participate back into the community, and you can solve that problem. So that's how the concept of the community actually comes alive, where you are also taking advantage of someone else's problem being solved already, and then you can participate back if you have already solved the problem while someone else is facing the same problem somewhere else in the world. So that's how the concept of the community really works. I People do not really value this connect. People usually value this learning part and this earning part. But guys, if you start read, just take one area of expertise. So for example, if you are what is a hot topic these days? Flows, Salesforce flows, right? There are so many things which are coming with the flows. With the summer 22 release, they have done a tremendous feature which are powered by the flows. So take of flows. If you just register yourself with the community where the topic of the flows is actually discussed and the problems of the flows are coming in, if you just subscribe to that particular thread or 4 or 5 threads, and if you just started just 30 minutes daily, if you started reading that what was the problem posted and how people have actually responded and how that problem has been solved, you might see yourself uh, you know uh, filled up with a plethora of the knowledge about the flows, that you might not even get while reading, 5 books or 10 books. So people do not really realize what is the importance of the community. Communities are full of knowledge, full of knowledge. What and it's free to use. You just need to click the button to subscribe. That's all they need. There's no single dollar, no single cent has been charged. What they exactly asking you or asking to commit is your time. Some obviously some of your internet usage and your time from 24 hours or 12 hours of your active work to go read, and maybe you can start participating as well. So that's what Trailhead is actually all about. If we move on, uh, provide you the learner-centric way. So what is learner-centric way? As I said that there are two ways: instructor-led, where an instructor is actually giving you the lesson. While what if you really follow your own heart? You wanted to be a consultant, you wanted to be a business analyst, uh, main role, keep Salesforce as your especially your work. How you want to do? No, not university, institute, or college can customize the that it's one size fits all kind of thing will not work for everyone. So what happened? Uh, Trailhead is actually providing you content completely free. What does that mean? Giving you anything, but they are giving you the platform, that platform, find your own content based on the content is already there. So if you are into consulting, for example, and if you are into, say, sales cloud is there, sales cloud consulting uh, is there. You use all the content, make your own trail mix, and then start learning your way. The trail mixes there on the Trailhead platform, which you can start making use of it. So that's what you really call centric way of you know, while there's that way of learning. Otherwise, you will be really restricted by what you're telling you to learn. It's a gamified, so everybody would have played the games on mobile or on different other consoles. Already have played the game. Gamified way means that something, and when you apply answer something correctly, you will be rewarded. You will have rewards, you will have points. While you're learning, you have a fun way of actually learning. So that's gamified. Bite-sized learning content. To learn the whole chapter or the whole book. It's not an exam. It's not waiting for you next morning to go and you have to take 70 marks. Otherwise, it's not like that. It's a bite-sized chunks and contents. So if you are to one page to actually learn, to read and understand the concept with some interactive videos, some text, if that is allowed, a standard object. So that piece of thing, right? You can customize that in a number of ways, and there are some questions at the end, and if you answer those questions correctly with some points, so that is the whole idea of the bite-sized learning content. Read 3, 5, 6 pages of to actually learn. As I said, it's personalized, so it is personalized because if somebody would want to be a marketing professional, person doesn't need to worry about that you or me content for the sales and service or her. There is no content for the marketing professional. Marketing content is already there. He or she just uh, subscribe to it, or just need to add content into the learning of, and then that is personalized based on the roles and levels, and it's virtual. So when it's like 3 4 years ago when first launched, Trailhead Go app. I still remember that it took me around 1 hour to go by bus from my home to my office here in Auckland. I'm living. So I still remember that I was doing my my Trailhead on my mobile. So not to waste the time, but waste 1 hour of time in the morning. On the mobile. So just do not have the luxury computer or laptop. For some reason, you do not have that, but you are into the journey or somewhere, and you have your mobile device with you. There are mobile both iOS and Android platforms. You can do that offline and all one platform, one account where your all points and everything gets in. So the beauty of this this is literally all free. I mean, I've been to so many online learning platforms, but this learning platform is that if you start planning from today for 6 months or next 1 year, I'm sure you cannot finish all that. You can finish all that. This is really hard. This platform. There's a whole team. There's a curation team with the back of this platform, and their duty is to creating different types of content for different types of roles and positions around the world for the Salesforce and even as well. So learn your way through the digital transformation. As I said, if you remember a few minutes ago, I have said that people think that Trailhead is all about Salesforce, and that's the biggest misunderstanding, by the way. Let's just change and let's have a look what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if I've seen that before, but simple thing where somebody may have already seen it. But let's just see what it then Salesforce. So on this slide, you have the technology and soft skills as well, not just Salesforce. So this is what I'm trying to say. Going to this. So this is the home page of Trailhead. If you already have a profile and you are logged in, you will see this page like that. If you log out, then you will still see this page, but you these tabs where you can do and search. I'm telling this thing for all those people. I'm assuming that there are some people on this call who would still like to understand this platform. So we all know that this is Salesforce, right? So there's no point to search about the Salesforce content. What if you are into content writing, right? You wanted to learn content writing, you wanted to improve the content writing because you are a content writer by heart. So it's just a search away, content writing, and let's see what here. The different types of material for content writing. Let's say if you um, speak speaking. I'm not talking about anything Salesforce, guys. Just pay attention to it because we all know it is Salesforce. So I need to. It is all about your soft storytelling. Go be any of your favorite right or the LinkedIn for different types of job profiles. You will find the storytelling as one of the needed skills. Storytelling is a huge thing. If you storytelling, maybe that can get you all the TEDx kind of platform. Public speaking skills. Actually, I'm practicing my public speaking skills to give a lecture or speech to an audience with more than 500 people. So I'm literally searching these things and then I right nothing to say. Providing you all this material free. I'm not saying that you will not find that kind of material somewhere else. I'm not claiming that. Okay? That irrespective if you are part of ecosystem or if you know or this is available completely. All they need is your time, is your commitment, and if you are internet usage, we all have. wherever we are living in the world. Similarly, if Salesforce is heavily machine learning and for some future, so you can learn machine learning maybe thousands for the resources, but this is another resource for you. You if you want to learn machine learning, very common thing these days. Let's again and maybe search some right. A blockchain is something which is an independent technology paradigm, I would say, right? So it has nothing to do. Salesforce can support their own platform to support uh, blockchain, but Salesforce as a company cannot change anything in the blockchain space. But blockchain is there. That's where I was telling that people underestimate our this platform. People think that this is only about Salesforce. Remember, the Salesforce is a very tiny part of it. The technology platform, like many others, right? You have 5%, 10%, 5% idea of this platform. Maybe if you commit your time, you can the whole platform. I don't know how many years or soft skills, communication skills. This you cannot learn these skills. They only come. You can only learn them. You can only improve them, and they come to you with the passage of time. It's not a there's no a formula thing that if I don't know how to create the flow, how to master the flow in Salesforce, I'll do 5 flows, flows, and I'll deliver one project and I'll be a master. That's it. Full stop. Soft skills does not come that way. You need similarly. What about the business? Data analytics is a concept that does not need any technology. It's a concept first. It's a business concept first until unless you understand what data analytics really is. If I give you the best tool in the world, you cannot do the wonder, you cannot do the magic, right? So digital transformation, ethics, ethical hacking. What is ethical hacking? Everybody thinks bad about hacking. Ethical hacking is a thing. People are universities are actually uh, in ethical hacking. How do you learn that? This is a platform for you. Similarly, for technology, we all know that technology, cybersecurity. There, I believe you will find something cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity is a problem, not just this. If it is SAP, if it is anything, it's for anyone. So, security architecture is there. Is a paradigm is there. Thing don't assume that if you are on, it is only about force. No, it is a lot of many things. It just need your we just need your imagination. It just to actually go. So I changed the gears for a little bit just to give you a bit of a flavor about what Trailhead is all about and what is the power of Trailhead. And it's continuously growing, by the way. The content you're finding today, you will find more contents on top of it. Tomorrow or in a week's time or a month's time. It's continuously curated content which is coming over there. There are some what Trailhead really honestly, but I'm not explaining every term. So for the people who are new to the mix, the of modules, project, and different your own small, right? It's like if you chapters from different make your own book. It's like that.
I think we lost him. Let's just wait for a second for him to join us back.
Hi, sorry everyone. I think uh,
Oh, it's back.
Hamza, you still there?
Uh, yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I was saying
Yeah,
welcome back.
sorry about that. I think it was a net. I am sharing my so actually slide. If anyone is not able to see my screen or not able to hear me clearly, just give
I
me
can
some
do both.
response on. Okay,
I can see the screen. I can also can hear you properly.
okay.
So I think you.
Thank you. Let's just continue, guys. I think it was a network problem. So I'll continue from here. I able to speak about this slide. So this slide is about giving you some pointers to if for the beginning who are platform or in the ecosystem. These some curated Salesforce curated. I'll try and provide the links of these ones as well later on. This call is already getting recorded. Uh, and if you search Trailhead, you can find them. But I'll try and to Hamza and Hamza provide to the community. So what community we are talking about? You can see on this snapshot here that a community is actually a group of people part of community. It's a trailblazer community which has been created by Hamza or and the admins and then people who are taking care of it. So this is the community. So this community, since I touch community quite often, but the communities that I am literally say here in this world, Australia and New Zealand, who are around like Singapore and others, the Californian one, these communities are very active, by the way. They arrange their whole meetups and everything, and even they specific issues, problems, projects through those communities. So the literally playing a very active part here, and they actually some they the way that the sharing that they are able people are able to share the knowledge with each other, not just by learning on the platform, but sharing their own knowledge on. As we speak, there are 1,000+ collaboration groups, these online groups present on the community. 1,000+ groups. You can understand what we are talking about. Somebody contacted me from Dhaka. Uh, like Pakistan, there is no legal presence of Salesforce in Bangladesh, but he was no, it's a small community, not as huge as Karachi, but they are really interested for to understand the platform and how they can about different numbers on the community. And still, he was talking about 200 something members. So there are, you can imagine. I mean, we are talking. The reason I give you this example because this is a recent example. The community has been formed last couple of years in Bangladesh, but there are communities who are very old. Plus collaboration groups on the Salesforce community. There are 4,000 plus, and by the way, this number must be obsolete. So 4,000 nothing for me. 4,000 plus questions and answered months. So I am sure there must be more than a lot more than 4,000 question and answered would have answered actually on the communities every month these days. Especially in last 2 years, because I do not need to COVID-19 has actually changed everything. So obviously nobody was going to the office or the meetup. The corner meetings were not being arranged. So everything was happened virtually. So these communities would have actually huge, enormous value in that's how you can put it. Start March or April 2020, end of 2021, community single thing. People were even giving to the people who were leaving their companies on platforms like this. The communities have actually played the huge role, so that's why I'm saying it's not right. It's not just learning the concept or learning the platform and the point community as well. I am so busy, but I still try to find 15 to 20 minutes every day, and every other day I'm trying the topics which are close to my heart, which I really like. I always go to that community page and try to read 4 to 5 latest threads on those communities knowledge, because not everything is just on the platform. Uh, Leverage the community. So this is communitygroups.com. We are on that page from where we are uh, session, and then you can join communities related to your near to your city, or which is related. For example, there is a and then different. It's both things. Sorry, it's close to where you live or the geography. Or it could be based on some particular topic or the hot idea or the thing which is going on in the market. So you can those groups. The COVID restriction have are lifting up gradually in go person meetups as well. I believe Karachi group is quite changing the will follow you guys on LinkedIn. So I really see you meeting up, which is really good. If not, then you can always do the virtual meeting, virtual discussions on the community. So updating your trailblazer.me profile. So again, a little bit of a background. People who are new to the platform, trailblazer. Is actually a person page which is provided by Trailblazer Trailhead platform for you, where you can define yourself, where you can where your all earning all the and reward at one place. So if you Salesforce only, for example, and you handy right with you and some recruiter prospective employers talking, you don't need to worry about anything. You only need to remember what is your URL, your Trailblazer URL. Your Trailblazer URL right then and then to have a look at how really you are, because maybe a little bit of flicker about what who you are, any faking or any cheating about these numbers. These numbers are there, and based on this, and you are your own career, and then so this is like a live CV. If you do not have a CV handy, this single page will actually serve for you in terms of Trailhead. So all your profile and keep it handy. This its URL handy. So as I said earlier in the start of this call, that there are different roles and certifications available. Consultant, for example, is one of the possible pathway. So this designer is the latest one that they have added, and there's a new certification came as well, designer certification, strategy designer certification. But the most sought after, I would say, or most in terms of paying good pathway is actually the the architect pathway, right? So you can adopt any pathway you like. If you love developing applications, if you are into coding, but if you really want to plan strategically about applications, you can go to the architect pathways as well. So Salesforce platform provides you to um, be the master of your own career, right? So if you wanted to be a Salesforce architect, be a technical architect or be a solution architect, there's a way for you. So there are different pathways. The solution architect and then so what is the difference between solution and technical architects, by the way? So my understanding is that when you are trying to answer why and by listening to the business, the general requirements, you're actually playing the part of the solution architect. Able to understand what solution architect. If I have a website, I do not have a way to secure my to secure people are accessing my website. Now that's a problem. That's a problem statement. And if you are finding different ways out of that website or the access to that website without looking at aspects are about how you would actually implement that are there, just find the way. For example, end of the day, you came. I found that there's a 5-bit 365-bit encryption available, and maybe we can way to secure the data on your solution part. When you are doing the solutioning, just finding the answer to with some future in strategy reason you are actually the solution architect. Does not mean that solution architect always find what answer or one solution to everything. It could be more than one solution as well. So you can view the aspects of business technology and information. So who has presented the problem to you, the problem statement. Maybe you can look at their uh, ecosystem. What is their business plan? They would implement it. What kind of money is involved? Teams is involved? What enablement would be done? If you just say, hey, there's a 5-degree, there's a 365 bit. Nobody understands this. If the teams are not enabled, if there does not know any, maybe your solution is a very super fine-tuned solution, but nobody in this. So maybe you need to do a bit of a coaching or mentoring. So that solution architect part. I think that solution architecture is all about providing the solution, providing a blueprint, providing a very good, glittery, shining diagram. And it's not just the role of the solution architect role is much more than that. All right. So if you wanted to go path available, but when it comes to technical architect, addressing the how part. That is now 360 265 encryption can be implemented by hundreds of methodologies, technologies, and different other things. If you can write your own framework if you want to, if you have such a requirement, if your data is repetitive, and that's the only implement the data on your website, then maybe you can write your own and you are into research and all those things, your own algorithm to data by applying the 65 or encryption. Where the technical, so those people are actually listening to the actual granular requirement from your business users or your and then implemented by along with the solution architects. So those are actually they just evaluate the requirements as well. Sometimes to implement one or one requirement, there are multiple sub requirements that came in. So which can be put on the back burner, that is all part of the priority. So technical architects actually do that. Uh, Along they can also do that solution architects, but responsibility technical architect to do the prioritization of. So, and then obviously when they are people who implement the who actually help implement those requirements, those solutions, then they are about cost and schedule of the implementation as well. What kind of uh, is involved? What kind of budget is involved to implement that particular solution? And then what time we are looking at? What are the schedule? What do we need to hire any teams to implement and then run the operations later on? That is also the responsibility of technical architect to understand. So technical architect should have this kind of prior knowledge. Most stuff you would say most expected requirements in terms of the job actually came with the technical architect because they have thing by themselves. They are not just the people who implement things on their own. Maybe there is a team that this kind of job for them, but the client about the timing, the cost, and the budgeting, and all those things which come down. So the specialization perspective, usually, ideally speaking, a technical architect should be an expert, but technical architect could be an expert in more than one field. Specialization in more than one field if he wanted to. The sales, there are two distinct parts, as you can see from this pyramid, from bottom up. You can be an application architect, or you could be a system architect, or you could be both, right? So these are the certifications. Talking about credentials, about badges, and all those. Salesforce, these certifications, they're credentials. So the first credential on that journey by learning and then getting certified you usually for an understanding good grasp is actually uh, right? So it's an optional one because if you look at this pyramid from bottom up, there's of you know certified administrator because that is part of this track or this track. You get some Salesforce you not to have the certification. You can always go for this give you enough morale boost, enough confidence boost platform, especially for the people who are starting on the platform. Sometimes it is key to get this certification done. But trust me, this certification, you have enough confidence that you can take on the next certification in the role with great confidence and excitement. Uh, sorry, from the eligibility perspective of these two is the one which is actually needed. So you can follow either path for some architect, or you can have both. But if you have um, either one of them, then you can go for the single architect, which is called CT. A totally different about it because does not the timing of this session does not allow me to talk about CTA here. And as I said, for people who are really of this the platform, two parts. This is just an example for this session. There are different other parts. Go to this page, this trailhead.salesforce.com/credentials or /pathways, and you will find all the similar kind of pyramids and learning about all the that you would like to achieve. If you wanted to be administrator, there are two certifications called Salesforce Administrator and Advanced Administrator that you can achieve, uh, all just by learning on the Trailhead platform itself. No need to spend the money, no need to do and do all the other things which are paid on the internet. You can simply learn the on the Trailhead for Trailhead platform for the administrator, and you can pass the administrator certification. A lot of people I know have actually passed the lot of certifications just by learning on the Trailhead itself. So that was all about Trailhead, right? Now, once you learn and you think that you were there before, now you are somewhere, you have learned, you are ready to do something. Now, you actually have learned something. Socialize. You need to, right? Um, um, the, you are able to socialize yourself. You are able to give, sell your skills. Understand that you have grasped some skills on the. It will take a little bit of a time for you to work. So that personal branding really matters. I a few slides related to the personal branding. You brand yourself, how you sell yourself, how you make others know some X, Y. So it could be other people think what others do is by or what you are saying on the platforms or in the meetups. Channel specific. So, for example, if you are only to just give an image example here to make you understand. If seeing you at the dance parties, then you know people started assuming things about you that you only seen on loves or he or she loves dance or he or she only this kind of party. This is the channel specific example. Highlights what is important to you. What is important? If you really wanted to make your data analytics, for example, science or machine learning, people seeing you participating in these type of communities where the data analytics or data questions and topics are being discussed, people have started asking questions, give you an impression that okay, so you wanted to learn something, you wanted to that's what is actually important to you. So that's how the personal work. Personal, you cannot do you go door to door, step to step, and then make others feel um, you have an idea about Salesforce particular module. No, yourself in such a way whatever you wanted others to those particular topics. So that's the whole philosophy behind the personal branding. So it's a very good example. Maybe you have seen this on LinkedIn or somewhere before, but it's a really cool thing. I mean, on different media platforms, you are talking about one thing, which is donut, right? So looking at this lady, people will understand that she loved actually donuts. So uh, nobody realized. But sometimes the advertisement or the portrayal is really confusing because you never know if she would love to cook the donuts, wanted to make the donuts, or if she loved eating donuts, she loves the colors of donuts. Actually, she loves. So donut is just one thing, right? That particular object is one thing, but you don't know if you don't know how to properly portray it, then different media platforms and different virtual platforms actually will take people will start thinking their own way while going on onto those platforms. So that's the importance of the branding, that you need to be careful your portrayal, your wording, how you are actually selling your LinkedIn. A professional person, a professional um, someone would actually with the mindset of this um, donut franchise one day, for example. Now there's a totally different paradigm. He is also holding a donut, but what he's saying that operate and donut. So there are different perspectives. So learning Salesforce or learning platform is one thing, but then how you are portraying to the out there is a totally different scenario here, right? Those are donut producers. I mean, somebody is producing the donut at a bakery or shop or home. My skill is to sell. I can produce, I can sell donuts into the market because the person who is actually producing the donuts will sell. So what does that mean? If I translate this back into the our Salesforce paradigm, it means that you might know the sales, you might know the platform, but you do not know how to actually sell. Can sell on your behalf. So that's how the different paradigms of the personal branding works. So these are just examples. The donut is a very catchy thing, is a very catchy cuisine or object. So that's why it is mainly used by to make others understand about what personal branding is. Profile is a very know how many of you have heard about LinkedIn profile. I mean, for how LinkedIn profile, I believe that a majority of on this call already a LinkedIn profile. It passed in, if I remember correctly, something year 2000 or year 2001. I don't still. It was the I heard about uh, what LinkedIn something, and then at that time I my profile. Since then, I am wholeheartedly uh, I'm maintaining my LinkedIn profile, and guys, to tell you my own very personal uh, experience, LinkedIn, I have landed jobs just by people the other side of the city, or or the I would say, our country, who do not know me other than my picture and my head, have contacted me, and I have, through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, if it just come back to you if you start spending time on it. I put it that way, right? So there are some tips here. I do not need here for 3 4. It's just give you an explanation about make your profile better. But there are LinkedIn profile today which make a profile better. So for example, I have background picture. This background banner is actually uh, 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 living in the Auckland city. So uh, of you know city. So I've Salesforce, and then my picture was already there. Change my headline. Just to gauge that if I'm not again running network problems. I hope everyone is listening, and my
Yes, we can see that.
thank you. Yep. LinkedIn, from the personal branding perspective, it's just one tool where you, again, need to buy any subscription for it. Yes, you can buy a subscription for it if you want to. If if you're a hiring manager, CEO, CTO, or HR manager or something, then maybe it's a different game. But the if you are trying to grab work on your LinkedIn, right? And when I was giving you the example that I have landed jobs myself through just my LinkedIn profile, talking about or New Zealand, or even landed the jobs through LinkedIn profile in Pakistan as well. It was just one job, but it was actually. People do pay attention on. Don't think that if it is Pakistan, nobody people think that it's a fake profile. If it's a fake profile, maybe 20-minute conversation can tell if the profile is right. So don't worry about that. Just work. Pay attention to how professional your profile. And the thing is, if you go to this link, get the full tips on this link. This is provided by LinkedIn itself to provide the tips and tricks how you can make your profile better. Think we have any other make our profile better if the LinkedIn platform give you all that knowledge, right? So one tool, one way how you can make your people know that you there are different profiles. Once you have your LinkedIn profile, you can share it, right? One way to share it is to the URL to main profile. You can grab the link from your browser, and you can provide that URL to the person that this is my LinkedIn profile. That's the usual way of sharing. But actually, you can share your LinkedIn by a QR code as well, right? Find this few everybody is using smartphones and everything, actually paying their attention, and I'm among those who mention that you can literally share a profile by. So it's simple. If you guys know already, that's really good. If you don't, by the way, it's only available on the mobile platform, on iPhone or Android. Then you can find it. I did not find it on the website, LinkedIn website. If you're browsing on the to your homepage, so the homepage of your app, LinkedIn app, then in the search box you'll find this box, and if you click this box, so you'll present something like this. Shot of this, and then wherever you want. Whatever other social media platforms you have, Facebook, copy and paste it on your Word CV, and then share that CV with others. So simply scan this QR code and get to your profile. That's how, right? And again, I'm emphasizing time and again that all things, very quick and easy thing for anyone to find you actually. It's all free. You do not need subscription or any single cent or dollar. You can join Salesforce well, and some groups that they have put together on LinkedIn. You simply need to word search LinkedIn with the keyword Salesforce. You'll find all these companies. With interest, you can subscribe if you are into developers. You can subscribe, but the main page on the main employer group is still Salesforce. Um, so these are some of the influencers. I hope that Hamza and the people who are closely working with Hamza would already know most of them. But there are so many other influencers. I believe I will replace this slide someday with Pakistani influencers actually here, right? Or the people who are from our region somewhere. But most of these people are actually from Australia and New Zealand. So celebrate
I
your
know
wins as
pretty,
well.
I know
Yeah, yeah,
pretty much all of them.
yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Working closely with Hamza, then you definitely know those people. So that's really good. Um, your own whenever you something to, whenever you have something to share, please share that. Again, LinkedIn is providing you, and even Twitter is actually providing you the. So, for example, if you earn a super badge or a badge, or if you from one to another rank, you can celebrate that. You can for free on LinkedIn or Twitter or something, right? And how you can do that, how you can effect. Again, there's a Trailhead module available, which is called Your Personal Portfolio on Salesforce. Can you how easy it is and how free it is? Even Salesforce is telling you how to portray yourself effectively on the virtually, and give you all the learning on their Trailhead platform. This is the power of this platform actually. It's not just about Salesforce, it's about it's a portray yourself effectively without making any mistakes. So that the catch statement here is you don't influencer actually. You do not need a course, you do not need a degree or diploma. You can do this pretty much by your. Um, for the jobs, I can understand that Salesforce is not in Pakistan and they're limited. Market will not remain limited. This will grow and grow further. But goes to the point where a lot of hustle and bustle. I think it's all of us to have our CVs ready actually, have our sellable skills. And one way to have our sellable skills is to have have your Salesforce resume ready. There are some free resources here. So people would have heard about Salesforce Den. So it, let's put its name there in the website name, and then their enhancedcv.com is a very well-known website to make your CV effective. So get at least for the market which is gonna get what is going to happen in next and after that actually. There you don't just think that Pakistan doesn't have a Salesforce entity. It doesn't matter that the other parts of really need Salesforce resources, take it from me. I'm part of the Salesforce. I'm telling you, there are not enough sales, right? There are not learned Salesforce so if you keep yourself get up to that particular mark where people literally you into the assignments, that this is the time for ready. That's the message I'm trying to convey. And maybe a good effective CV is one way. Um, so these are some of the techniques, or sorry, some of the tips around how to make the good CV. Um, at least provide you some specific, if you are to be Salesforce specific. If you are generic, then yeah, you lead. But Salesforce ban be good if you. That's all from actually from my side. That's the thing which I have prepared. Um, Again, guys, thank you so very much. If there are any questions, maybe we can spend 5 more minutes. I hope I did not take much time, Hamza. Sorry if I have already taken.
No, actually, that was needed, I believe. And no, thank you so much. I believe your session was not just only for the people who are getting started with Salesforce, but also for the people who landing their job. And it was a good
Yeah.
tips about. I mean, the good one was about the LinkedIn, the QR
Yeah.
code from the phone. That was the best one.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure that many of the people would have got benefit out of it. I can see that we have around 30 people in this
Yeah.
session, and many people are doing is like thanking you a lot
Yeah.
for that. So I
Actually,
hope that
I like to thank all of you because even 30 people are and 31 people are really important for me, and it's really meant something for me because the thing is it's the weekend, and then it's a celebration tomorrow. So obviously, having your presence for 1 to 2 hours is really something really valuable for me. So thank you guys. Thanks for your time actually.
actually, thank you so much for sharing that information. I probably is your each day there in New Zealand, if I'm
No,
not wrong. No? Okay.
no. We also have eat tomorrow.
Okay, then we'll celebrate together.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Well, it's about well. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sure this was a great session, and I hope that everyone have learned some of it. So, all for the people who are available on the session and heard Rahil presenting this topic. So, if you have any questions, feel free to post it on a general tab or let me know. I can give you the present role so you can turn on your mic or camera and ask yourself. Meanwhile, the one question that I have, I should ask. So, Rahil, the one question that I had was that. Um, we are talking about this talent alliance, and I also have
Mm,
this multiple time different questions from a Salesforce team regarding the Trailhead quest and whatnot. There are many things available for the other part of the world, but not for Pakistan, especially. So
mm,
yesterday, I mean, just a small story before proceeding to my question.
yeah.
Yesterday, I was filling one of the form regarding the Salesforce Labs. So Salesforce Labs Day is happening. So for all the people who don't know about it, Salesforce Labs Day is a day where this is a virtual kind of a event where they do talk about their Salesforce Labs applications available on App Exchange, and just tell the different stories and runs demos there. And there's a chance for them to a prize or something. So I was filling up the registration form yesterday, actually
Mm,
the last night, and I found that there was no Pakistan in a country list. And not just
mm,
Pakistan, there are also some other countries. I do have actually many friends from Albania as well. And I couldn't find any Albanian country as well. So I found a list of all the countries, and it's a perk of Salesforce MVP that I got a chance to talk to Salesforce geeks. So I just posted out there, and I got a response that they are working on it. So that's one thing, and I'm glad
mhm,
that I was able to help there. But regarding this
Yeah.
Trailhead Quest and Talent Alliance, what we
Hmm.
can do, I mean, uh, we means I as a Salesforce MVP, you as a Salesforce employee,
Hmm.
we as a community, that whole Pakistani community, what we can do to allow to make Salesforce consider Pakistan in such programs.
Yeah. So I understand your question completely. Comes up. Unfortunately, the answer is not straightforward. As a Salesforce is um, runs on trust. If you say that it's not night, actually it's daytime here, they will. This is the number one thing. The reason I'm mentioning this here is not about you and me. General, unfortunately, really, it's but the problem is the general impression of the Pakistan is actually not good. Only Salesforce, there are a lot of other companies actually does not mention Pakistan or does not any direct business with Pakistan. So in order to answer some idea, you may have heard the story about how Pakistan added as a seller country in right. It was not
Oh
there
yeah, I heard about
for last many years. Yes, there are people who worked on this Pakistanis or ex-Pakistanis, US and in Singapore. Work does not happen in just one day. It years to complete. Year, literally year. So those people have worked and they have nobody was actually this extra work, but they were working for for the country to be at as a seller country. Them 2 3 years just to reach to the point where Amazon to add Pakistan. All those paperwork, the government approval, this and that, the legalities have been established that add 6 to 7 months, and then finally they started to appear in the list of seller countries at Amazon. So it took around good, you can 3.5 4 years. Happened because Amazon does not form a few years ago, or it's an old company. So there are
yeah.
so many Pakistanis, and it's an American. It's a huge community on back of it. Comparatively, Salesforce is an old, it's not that old as Microsoft is, right? It's not that old as Oracle is. So obviously, the community who are working in Salesforce is also very low. So on Slack, there's a channel called Pakistan, and all companies like me who are not in Pakistan, obviously, because if you are working in a Salesforce, it means Pakistan. It means that you are somewhere else. So all the Pakistan, Germany, Ireland, Dublin, Australia, myself only who is in New Zealand. All the other people in England as well, most they are part of that Slack channel. Tell you the count of that channel, it is around right. If you think if just give yourself enough space that maybe 60 people who are Pakistanis and who wouldn't know and they are working in Salesforce and who think about this channel. So add them. If you add them, then you can reach to 200 maximum, 100 or something, 200. So do you think that huge company has 200 or 200, 250 maximum Pakistan, and they need to nice Pakistan for Salesforce? It will take some more time. It will take some more community, Pakistani community, to present Salesforce, right Salesforce, where actually when they work together, they recognize Pakistan. So that's the big, and the overall impression of the country is also not good. So these hurdles. Uh, Doing something, I will um, do. Obviously, this is not just your question. I'm literally more than interested to do something, but you, me, and the people likes of us definitely together to make Pakistan as a recognizable country for Salesforce. But just to set the expectation right, Hamza, that it's not a simple task.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a very brief. Thank you so for the detailed answer. Actually, I agree at most of the extent about this. By the
yeah.
way, meanwhile, we're talking. Can you share the Slack URL? I would love to be there. And
Uh,
oh, okay,
it's,
okay,
it's for
cannot do that.
employees.
Okay, I
Yeah.
get
So
it.
those are
Get it.
employees. Those are actually employees.
Oh,
You can say ex.
got
So
it. Got it.
yeah. So it's called Social Pakistan. There are the number of people. I'm looking at it right. 123 members on the Social Pakistan. I'm screen to give you a glimpse of. So this is channel I'm talking about, Social Pakistan, and I've been added by one of my friends when I joined Salesforce. So all you can see, and they are in different countries, right? So for example, Babar first is in Germany from Pakistan. Myself, so they are all ex-Pakistani working in Salesforce. The number I'm talking about is 23. I was just giving you a scenario that, for example, there are 50 or 60 other people who are in Salesforce don't know about in the social channel, then maybe you can reach to 200. So 200 people is the really enough to make in Salesforce organization. That
I know. I understand that. And most of the time, what I do is actually I try actually recently to my trailhead trailblazer actually trailblazer event was for me to make them familiar with Pakistan, and
yeah.
I really did a good job, to be honest, as I
Hmm.
did bring many of the Salesforce people who are managing the APAC region.
Yeah.
I was able
Yeah.
to invite them on my Slack channel. The problem is that our people do not really kind of get in. I know that there are more than thousands of people in Karachi and in Pakistan working on
Yeah.
Salesforce technology, but they don't want to be a part of any of the group or community. I don't know
Yeah.
why is that. I want to
Yeah.
change it. No matter how hard I try, I
Yeah.
want to bring people to the Slack channel because Slack channel has I mean, there's an opportunity for the Salesforce geeks to join there as well with us. Obviously, I cannot
Yeah.
join. I cannot invite them to use our Slack WhatsApp group because
Yeah.
WhatsApp also has the limit. And obviously, people are not using WhatsApp and it's not professional either. So
Yeah.
Slack is the group, and I wanted to people to join Slack. And most of the people don't even know how to use Slack. What Slack is,
Correct.
and I was very shocked to see that in the last session I was telling the people about that Slack is a part of Salesforce. And like,
Yeah.
no, Salesforce Slack is a different company. I was like, this it's been acquired years ago, so they
Yeah.
didn't know about it. And when I was in the 12 Blizzard TX, I got to know that Slack is going to replace Chatter soon.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so how you can see how important Slack is now,
Yes.
and I'm trying my best to aware our people, and I do spend most of my time looking for the opportunities available for the different people, and just look for around it. Maybe if it's for Pakistanis as well. If it is, I do share it instantly on the Slack and WhatsApp so the Pakistanis can join those, and we can have more power. And I know that the FATF also is a part of what Salesforce is
Yes.
actually
Yes. Yes.
not trusting us. That I hope that things will get better, inshallah.
Yeah, yeah. As a Salesforce employee,
Mhm.
when I joined Salesforce, there were some webinars for the onboarding for the new employees, right? And an onboarding